again for a walk and talk. Unfortunately, Hurricane Dexter, assuming it's a hurricane and not a tropical storm, without Noah, it's very difficult to tell. But supposedly, Hurricane Dexter is currently aiming at Georgia. Noticed a sudden drop in temperature. Well, friends, be it a tropical storm or be it a hurricane, that's what's causing it. It's actually pretty nice. It's about 69, 70 degrees out here today, where it's typically been about 80 to 90 degrees getting out and out the door. So that's a perk. Right now, I'm waiting on my boss to come pick me up at work, which would be nice. If they don't come to pick me up, I might just call in today because I'd be tired and I'm not in the mood for the bullshit. Tomorrow's payday, and we'll probably be live streaming again tomorrow. Definitely be live streaming this afternoon if my boss shows up to pick me up. Be getting off around 12. And other housekeeping, got my Dremel. That's why we didn't do an early morning stream. I didn't quite get the chance to, because by the time I got Minecraft fired up and going, we would have already been here, or needed to be here. So we'll just wait until this afternoon for that. Been doing a lot of the Cults of the Lamb stuff. Been really enjoying that game particularly. And outside of Hurricane Dexter pressing down on us, I'm just going to call it a hurricane until I get proven otherwise. Good news is, unless it changes dramatically in the Atlantic, Florida, you're going to get to sit this one out. Enjoy. Prepare for the next one coming in behind Dexter. For those of us, well, I used to say that the male-named hurricanes, for whatever reason, didn't hit as hard. But then again, Andrew came in and fucked up the AT pretty good, so I don't know, y'all. Maybe it's one of those we can't really go based on tradition. We have to look into modern trends. Because as the ice sheets melt and as the planet heats up and as the oceans cool and then warm as the ice vanishes, we're going to be leaving the ice age that our ancestors and all of humanity has known. Because I know it doesn't feel like it with the heat index rising and with everything else happening, but we're actually going through an ice age right now. It's getting ready to end. And when it ends, I genuinely don't know if humanity's going to live on this planet when it's done. Because before this ice age that we're currently living in, humans weren't a thing. We were about the size of small rodents. And our ancient ancestors there, I don't remember what they were called off the top of my head. Check out Aaron Ra's video. That's Aaron Ra, capital R-A, like the sun god. He does a comprehensive and good breakdown of evolution. The other side would be check out Crash Course if you don't have a lot of time, because Crash Course by Hank and Seth Green it's based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. And it'll also help break down a lot of these lessons from actual science communicators, not just some fucking backup. Outside of that, we will no longer be graced with Dear Jesse's fry. I'm almost tempted to go get another coat. But with the rain getting ready to come down, it's chilly. But I know the kitchen's going to be around 100 degrees, so I don't really want to go get another coat yet. What else is there to discuss and talk about? Like I said, y'all, this might be a short video, just some nonsense from what we got to get ready and what's going on with the channel. We got the buy me a coffee thing. It ain't gotten any traction yet. Not really surprised. This isn't the economy for starting new things. This is kind of the economy for battening down and doing what you do best. I've been doubling down my efforts to talk to folks that actually help out around here for, hey, if you got any extra change for the cause, anything like that, go for it. For people on the internet, y'all, I'm a teeny tiny and or the National Weather Center. They're accepting donations now, and they are vital and key. Remember, y'all, whenever you hear a tornado siren, that isn't your state sponsors giving a teeny fuck about you. That's the National Weather Center saying, hey, there's a tornado in the area. Doesn't do great work. They're not going to be there when you need them, but they will be there when you need help. Whereas privatizing everything, hello, dear viewer. Whereas privatizing everything, it basically becomes, well, like Dollar General here. Dollar General's my neighbor. Oh, how sweet, the epic rice maker. How cute, a tiny racist. How you doing, tiny racist? You're gonna give it to me, though. You gotta pay for it. Ditto for privatized healthcare. You're taking your healthcare. Hello, Salvador Melim. Melim, how are you doing today? Okay, epic rice maker. And I was saying you're a racist because of your stupid name and your pathetic views. But by all means, if you want to be racist because you think all black people are crackheads, you can also live on that one too. Hello, tummy ache survivor, Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, the market's not good right now, y'all. Hello, Cherry, how are you doing today? But that's why we don't need to turn everything over to private enterprise. We need to work more together because communities know what communities need. Sure you do. Either way, it's amazing. At least the epic rice maker's refreshing. There are racists that say, "No, I'm not a racist." That's cool. I mean, at least you're better than most of them. Watching Jubilee videos made me believe that, racists are just out and proud now. Hello, Gwen Stevenson. Hello, Empowerment Echo. Hope y'all are doing well today. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Let's leave that one off. There's a very large New York style cockroach here outside the store. I thought it was gonna be one of those neat cow bugs. I don't want them on me. That's good to hear, Empowerment Echo. I hope you're doing well for the rest of the day as well. Like I said, this is going to be a fairly short stream, just sort of housekeeping matters while I wait for my ride, because for once I have a ride. I asked my boss, and hopefully she's going to show up, because if they send the worker out that I also have issues with, I'll just call out today. Now, that's the one good thing about my field of work and having multiple irons and multiple fires. I can miss one day and make it up in the next. Oh, bruh, I don't buy cars. For one, it's a humongous waste of money. For two, with the insurance industry being the way it is, plus the infrastructure in America, it's just a giant scam. On top of that, most cars, unless you're buying a used clunker, basically cost as much as a house. If I'm going to spend $60,000, oh, it's too dark. $60,000 and I get a car that can talk to me while I back over pedestrians and run over my children. Like I said, oh, that's sweet, but for $20,000, I can also rebuild the infrastructure around this area for walking. $20,000 is a lot of money, just opinions. I mean, by all means, why don't you fully support the system that's destroying us? I believe in fighting where we can rather than just saying yes, massa. Hey, Slushy Shiver, how are you doing? Oh, yeah, you totally can, actually. For around $15,000, you can build a functioning sidewalk. Now, if you want a city sidewalk, you're going to need to break into actual, money. But for something that functions for people to walk on, like, say, wood trails and things, the things that I'm used to doing, not you, clearly all you're used to doing is making rice. But I do forestry projects. I work with some of our forestry areas as a volunteer. And through my volunteer work, I have learned some lessons. For one, you can make a natural sidewalk with something like cat litter, gravel, and boxes. Lay the boxes flat to kill the natural grasses and the weeds that are going to be going through it. Dig a slight trench about that far down is all you're going to have to do to get rid of the sod grass and the roots in there. Lay down your cardboard, lay down your sand layer, lay down your gravel layer, and then let people start walking through it. Yeah, let me see. Slush Shiver, good. I'm doing all right. Just waiting for waiting for my ride, waiting to go to work. But, because unlike apparently the rice maker, I actually, work every day. That's one of the reasons I'm so stressed out. But y'all, it's like the Lorax said in the old kids book written by that horrible monster Seuss. It's, unless someone like you cares an awful, awful lot, things just aren't going to get better. They're not. But, like I said, it's just, we got to work together, folks. That's the only thing going to pull us out of this shit. Also, I would wear my bonnet, but with how it's looking, I don't know. I'll definitely be coming to y'all live this afternoon when I get off and do the walk home, but I'd rather have my sunbonnet, and I don't think I'm going to get that option because if it rains, it's not made for rain yet. I haven't uploaded the short from where I've been editing that bonnet and putting it together. I mean, I'm still working on this whole channel thing, y'all. It's my biggest trait right now that I'm trying to do is not be toxic online, to own where my mistakes are and to work better to better correct those mistakes. I mean, I want to be an educational channel, but to quote a B-grade movie about a teddy bear, but Bud, all we do is make the sandwiches. So I read books on ecology, I read books on science, I read books about doomsday survival. The zombie ones are fun, but the, extreme weather ones are far more practical. It's like how the news article was all about that one boy who went missing after he figured out how to make gasoline from plastic. Well, if you watch Surviving End of Days, they tell you how to make gasoline out of plastic. It's just not going to be the greatest gas, but it will work and it'll still ignite and do combustion. Hello, Dead Rails Agent 206. How are you doing? But, like I said, it's... Okay, for those who don't know, because I saw the short, don't do it until you know how to do it. But if you've got some land and aren't scared of a little explosive fun, here's how you do. What you can do is take you a steel barrel, as much as you can, fill your bucket about halfway with that to start with, because what you're trying to do is make a basic batch to see what you're working with. Now, you're probably going to want to get the recycling grade that's inside that little pyramid to find out what you're going to get the most out of, but that's where you're going to have to experiment. They're not just going to give you the recipe for gasoline. I don't know it because I don't use a vehicle, haven't needed it. But when the end of days comes, I'll be ready to start practicing it. Take your barrel, fill it with plastic up to about halfway full. Fill the rest of it with water because you're going to want a little bit of dampness to let that plastic start melting and steaming up. Seal off your top. Take your copper piping, and much like you were making a fine Kentucky bourbon or a fine Kentucky moonshine, you take that copper pipe, string it up, put it through a water source, and have it basically cross or zigzag. Or you can make it do a loop. Your goal is just to, as this gasoline or would-be gasoline heats up and goes through your pipe, you want it to go through that water source and cool off. Then you're going to want it to come up as a spigot and drip over. Because as the plastic heats, it releases a gas. That gas contains gasoline, and as it cools off, that gasoline will solidify into a liquid. Well, I guess solidify is the word. I'm not positive on that one, but it'll come dripping out. After that, get you either a sand medium or get you a cheesecloth, get you something that it can drip through and siphon off the bits that will still take a teeny tiny amount and put it somewhere that's not going to burn or blow up. Put your medium or put it on that medium and ignite it. And make, ideally outdoors, and make extremely sure that you're not overdoing it. Because remember, the only difference between a pressure cooker and a pipe bomb is what's in the pot and how long you let it cook. Much like other sciences, the only difference between having a fun time with a hallucinogen and committing suicide is dosage. Hello, Bombcats, how you doing? But I gotta say, it's just a thing. Get it out there. Let everyone know. If you have the space and the ability without blowing yourself up, experiment with it. Because, friends, we have to get better at recycling. And my entire life has been spent trying to figure out how to do better problem. Because right now, we've created a product that we have after 100 plus years, one bacterium that kind of eats it. And they released it onto Garbage Island, which helps. But you're looking at something that might finish off our plastic waste 100 years after we're long gone and the last human has breathed their last breath. I want something to do better, something that ideally recycles it as we go. I'm doing all right. Oh, yeah, the lagging, it's because I'm at Dollar General and I'm out here in the Georgia South, so we don't work on our grid so good out here. We do better in Alabama, and for some reason there's been a rivalry between Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi. I don't know why we're racing to the bottom during this rivalry, but it seems to be what we're doing. But like I said, I'm just one of those wild and crazy channels. I do what I can to help out where I can. And normally, if the weather work, unfortunately, I don't do that in inclement weather because fuck that. I've been hit by a car once. Never been struck by lightning. Been hit near by lightning. That was fun. That was unpleasant. Been through a little bit in my 30 plus years, but honestly, I feel worse for you kids coming up now just because all the stats don't look good. And the more I look into the climate disaster that's unfolding before our eyes, the more I worry for the future generations. I mean, I'm like a lot of the old people where I work at. I don't really care about myself that much because when the temperature starts to get to about 120 on the average, those of you who are watching this channel getting ready to go to your schools, yeah, no, you're going to be about my age when the world starts catching fire more than it already is. So I'm just saying, clearly Gen X has said, fuck y'all, fuck me, fuck off. We're all going to die and they don't care. Boomers think that it's going to be Jesus come back and save us all through his magical, I don't know, pixie farts or something. And the scientists are all going, hey guys, we should have been paying attention to this ages ago. Maybe we should do something aggressive to start fixing it. And the beat keeps running. Either way, I don't know, y'all. It's quite hopeless, and that's why I'm telling y'all, fight that darkness. Even though I'm coming to you from the darkness, so to speak, it seems. Normally, these security lights would have come on. I don't know what's going on other than, our grid is slowly showing how collapsible it truly is. Maybe this is what you get when you pave paradise and put up a parking lot. Or it's what you get when you naturally destroy the environment around you for the funsies of it. For the funds, as it were. Like I said, y'all, I'm just your average American doing my best, pacing here, waiting to go to my dead-end job where I won't make enough to make rent unless I work a full 80 hours. But that's okay. That's all right. I can still grow my own food. The hydroponics lab is slowly coming together. And eventually, hopefully, I'll be taking pictures of that and showing y'all how to do that. Because part of what I'm trying to do there is not do homeless chic, but hey, guys, even in a bombed-out wreck, we can get you clean water. And if I can show you these things and you can practice them, hopefully, Xers and the boomers that are still alive and not suffering from Alzheimer's, we lived through this planning period of this. Many of us have already been accepting the doomsday scenarios coming our way and have been planning accordingly. Why do you think farmland is vanishing up? I mean, I would say the best option we could do as a society would be to start circling the wagons in a manner of speaking, but also continue working together. I think we should try to overlook these political, think about it. People like Austin Archer, Hannah Reloaded, Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker's a bad example. He actually made it big. But Austin Archer, the lying ass like crazy just to try to get video content out there. Meanwhile, if I go and call a small child the N slur in a playground, his father come over and say, hey, what the fuck's wrong with you? And I look at him and say, oh, you're an N slur too, N slur. And then stand 10 toes down on it. Well, I'll make $20,000 overnight just because the right wing's a bunch of fucking jackasses. They help each other behave badly. For example, look at the fucking the jackass from Jubilee. The one that talked to Mehdi Hassan. The one that, I am a Nazi. That jackass, the comically evil looking one. Yeah, he got fired for being an out and proud Nazi. Aww. And then he made $50,000 overnight because right the hell out of you. It's like that one bit out of Family Guy from the early Family Guy when Lois runs for mayor. I do truly think that most Republicans are that level of stupid. 9, 11, and then they cheer for you as a politician. You don't even have to, those were 9, 11. And yeah, it's a bit. I don't think that'd work. But then again, The woman who went into a public park and called a small child an N slur with the hard ER on it multiple times on camera made around $180,000 so far on her GoFundMe because she's being canceled for her political beliefs. It's like, y'all, come on. What the fuck are we even doing here? Meanwhile, someone like Austin Archer, this Midwestern chunky fellow, I love him. Don't get mad. Some of us just be chunky. Some of us got food. Some of us don't. It's like dark humor. Not everyone gets it. But he's a little bit of a chunky boy from the Midwest doing what I do, but so much better. And he's a good artist, decent singer, all that. He got a GoFundMe started to try to help out Mehdi Hassan after the big debate and just basically educate people on why being anti-Semitic is not helping Palestine. Richer than the left. The left is so focused on purity testing, sometimes we purity test ourselves right out the fucking room. And I like it, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of it because, well, let's be clear, y'all. If I open up a lovely storefront here and I serve the good people of my county, every person that comes through those doors gets the service they require. But then I let a couple Nazis in, and the Nazis start making fun of my brown customers, and they start like pushing around my gay customers, and they're being right assholes, but it's their bar, so they're going to help pay for it all, right? And before long, I got nothing but a Nazi store or a Nazi bar. How do we fix that? That's simple. The first time someone Z-Kyles, the first time someone says the HH, well, maybe it's okay to be racist. No, the fuck it's not. Get the fuck out of my place. Period. Now, if you can educate them, educate them. But if they're just going to be there trying to fight for the merits of the Jim Crow South, be done with them. You ain't got the time to waste. I ain't got the time to waste. There are plants to be planted. There's fucking oceans to be cleaned. There's roadsides to be picked up. There's plastic to be broken down. What I'm saying is stop trying to save every right-wing dipshit you meet. Fuck them. Let's move on. Let them stay and pretend to have money and power while the rest of us actually fix the world. Part 2 to this plan, the most important part, some might say, though, and the last 80 years of my life. Don't help them. Don't feel bad for them. Let them go. I'm not here to teach you the soft lefty, let's all be friends and hold hands and friendship is magic. No, friends. Steven Universe went off the air. This is more the Owl House. Because, yeah, don't get me wrong. It doesn't make me better than them. Some ways it makes me worse than the Nazis. But I also don't fucking care. If love is going to hurt somebody, well, then that's our job to stop it. Because that's what separates the human animal from the animal animal. But at the end of the day, like I keep trying to tell my friend, forget me not, we are still animals. Give yourself credit, give people credit. But if you got somebody that's an outright racist in your life, fuck them, leave them behind. You ain't got time for that shit no more. We ain't got time for that shit no more. Libraries are free, education's free, and if they want to go down the shitty hole that is the fucking right-wing pipeline, fuck it. We need to get better at organizing ourselves. Because remember, in Charleston, when all of the dipshits in there, well, some of y'all might not remember that. Most of my audience should. When all of them started marching with their tiki torches and their stupid white supremacist march, they organized 200 people in like a week. Meanwhile, on the left, I've been trying to get a D&D night together for what, 4 years now? I've been trying to get people to come together and work on like, well, come on, guys, I can show you how to make hydroponics in a greenhouse. That way you can grow your own vegetables throughout the year. Growing vegetables, one part of getting to where you can grow and have your own livestock. I'm not going to I'm not going to tell you you can make a, Farmer John, Farmville style area behind you, but you can provide for your individual one-person needs. And if you and your spouse or your kid can provide for their needs, well, then that's 2 people that could completely at any given time take their products and go the fuck right off the grid and survive. Now imagine if 10 people did that, then 100, then 10,000. Start adding that number up into the billions. Oh, you can grow squash, but you hate fucking. Well, that person can grow carrots, and they hate fucking carrots. Exchange. Capitalism isn't a bad system. It's just inherently predatory. We need to take the predator out of that That's just my opinion. I'm just a humble fry cook yapping at you from the south. And yeah, my signal's weak. That's a byproduct. If I was in a city, that would be different. Y'all, my city can't even take care of its elderly. To go to a city meeting, I have to cross a bridge that I legally cannot cross. And the river's not big enough for that. But with a kayak, a boogie board, some loose debris, you could take the rope, take the debris, put it under your feet. Do it again. It's just, it takes time. Everything for me takes so much more time because everything costs money. And, well, for example, tomorrow's payday, so I'll be negative 75 in the hole tomorrow. Granted, I'm doing better. When this started 6 months ago, after having to pay over $800 to Georgia Power to keep the power on through this -0 winter, yeah, it was rough, y'all. Ain't gonna lie. But the system's designed to break us. Don't let it. Fight. Endure together. And the reason I tell you to use nonviolence, that's not because, oh, aren't I such a good person? That's because the state owns the monopoly on violence. You go to shoot at the officer, way to go, you killed. That's why we don't do violence. If you have to do violence, make sure you're willing to commit to what's going to come from said violence, you know? Because I'm also not going to be here saying, oh no, y'all, Luigi's a bad person, because I can't lie to y'all. The NFL shooter, I think he was a little crossed, but let's face it, he also had a lot of brain damage from playing high school sports. And that's not a dig at my fellow sports people here. That's just, well, my fellow sports. It's not a dig at the sports folks. I do MMA myself, or I used to. But, nah, y'all, proper shit. And at least he killed a CEO. He could have killed people. That would have been worse. I mean, at least he decided to take out a CEO and not like a working person, a family, or any of the other things could have happened. I don't know, y'all. Like I said, it gets exhausting, and I'm not a fucking angel by any extent to the imagination. I'm just here to try to help y'all where I can, help talk where I can. I don't know. Y'all be good, and this afternoon we will do another walk and talk, hopefully a better, more cohesive one. I plan at some point during the day as I break down the chickens and chop up the veggies and all that. I plan on hopefully being able to take notes from The Heat Will Kill Us First and 9 Degrees of Warning. And with those notes, I will talk to y'all about that this afternoon around 12 o'clock-ish when I get off. Eventually I'll have better angles too, but you know, we're working from a busted phone. We work with the tools we have, not the tools we want to have. Be good, y'all, and remember, the people who are messaging you from other countries are speaking English to you because that is... Understand, they're speaking 2 to 3 languages to our one not so good speaking one. So let's try to be a little bit nicer to those telemarketing folks, shall we? Not the robocalls though. Fucking AI. Fucking AI hard. I hate the AI system. Y'all be good. Take care, and we will see you this afternoon. Alright. I'm gonna boot the phone now. Boop. Be good, y'all. Love you.